Welcome to the December Executive Roundtable. Hi, my name is Alicia J. Alexander, MSL for Master of Science in Leadership, and this is Make a Difference Consulting's Executive Roundtable. We have today, I'm so excited about this. We have Dr. Michele D. Clark, who is president and founder of Lift After Breast Cancer. Well, the opportunity to have a great conversation with Dr. Michele Clark. I've been anticipating this day. So, welcome, Dr. Michele. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Alicia, for having me today. I'm super excited about being here as well.
Great, great. So, you are founder and CEO of Lift After Breast Cancer. Can you share what helped you start this organization?
Absolutely. And again, thank you so much for having me. And thank you for all the viewers for tuning in today. And, so just taking it back just a little bit, it's a little bit about myself. Yes, I'm the CEO and founder of Lift After Breast Cancer. And Lift is an acronym. It stands for Living Inspired Free and Transformed After Breast Cancer. And what we do is we answer the question of what's next. In other words, when people ring the bell, they may not feel well, And so with that, they may want, when I say not feel well, meaning that they don't feel whole. It's like, okay, I'm done with the treatments, but where do I go next? How do I find my next in life? And so taking it back to who I am, so I am really just a small town girl with big time dreams, who God has definitely shown his grace, his mercy. He saved me from some life-threatening things. I'm from a small town called Harvey. Most folks don't know where that is. Do you know where Harvey is?
No,
Yeah,
first
no,
I'm hearing
most
about
folks don't know where it is, and that's
it.
okay. It's near the south side of Chicago, but unfortunately, you don't have to be a reporter on America's Most Wanted to know how Chicago got its nickname Chirac. But the good news about that is that my parents did an excellent job of raising me, and they told me to go to school, get good grades, and so I did that, and I got my bachelor's in psychology, master's in social work, and I've been recognized for a PhD in entrepreneurship and business administration. But the one that I really tout, the PhD, is the one that I got from the School of Hard Knocks. So, like I said, I've been through a lot of things, but those things are what led me to birth Lift After Breast Cancer. So, how it got started, answering your exact question, how it got started was when I was going through my breast cancer journey, I realized that when I went into different rooms, I didn't see anybody that looked like me. And I mean that I was diagnosed at the age of 39, just after recovering from two strokes at the age of 38. So coming off of that, and 6 weeks before the two strokes, I just finalized my divorce. So divorce, 6 weeks later, two strokes, 1 year later, stage two breast cancer. After ringing the bell, I wanted to then start to become a part of different organizations. It wasn't immediately after, because my reconstruction took a long time, that process. First of all, I had to wait some years to get out from the strokes. And then I had to wait for my body to heal from the radiation therapy. Then I was like, okay, great, ready to reconstruct. And then I had a mini stroke. Then I finally got cleared to reconstruct. And then COVID hit. So we started the process, but then stopped. So from 2015, when I heard you have breast cancer, and the way I heard it was really hilarious. My doctor literally called me, Alicia, and said, hey, Michelle, you know you got breast cancer, right? Yeah, that's how I heard. So from that day, 2015, mastectomy 2016, mini stroke in 2018, 2019 started the reconstruct, 2020 COVID hit, stalled. 3 years later, went back under the knife after a series of I call it the snatch surgery that happened March 23rd, 2023, where I went in for to complete the reconstruct. But what ended up happening was they said I had COVID. I did not have COVID, but they didn't find that out until later. It was a false positive. But it was the day of my surgery when I was already on the gurney, waiting to be wheeled to the back for surgery, and I had to put my clothes back on and leave. It's very devastating. So then, fast forward 5 months after that. So I did go back 2 months after that, but unfortunately, I actually did catch COVID 10 days before the next surgery. So then, third time's a charm, went to surgery, had the reconstruct. that completed, per se, the reconstruct. And but I didn't feel complete. So that's why I put that up. So I didn't feel complete on the inside. There was so much that had happened in that time frame, so much that I had to think about. When I wanted to immerse myself in some of the programs, I didn't see people look like me, meaning that because I was diagnosed at 39 and my breast cancer journey happened as a young adult, they considered it young, right? The people in the room were either old enough to be my parents or just were empty nesters, the end of their careers or already retired. So I was still at the height of my career, had young kids, newly divorced, and just trying to figure out life. And so I didn't see a lot of things that reflected what I was going through.
Mhm.
Not to take away from the ladies and the groups, they were helpful, but not as helpful as I wanted them to be.
Mhm.
Additionally, when I wanted to start retreating, because I was like, oh, there's retreats that we can go on as survivors. I was reading a lot of the requirements. You had to be 1 year, 3 year, 5 years out. I was well out from that. Again, I started in 2015 and I really didn't emerge from the ashes, if you will,
Right.
until 2023, to be honest with you. A little bit before that, I would say 2020, but still 5, 6, 7 years afterwards. And so a lot of them didn't qualify to participate. And I'm like, no, wait a minute now. I
Yeah.
didn't even want to be a part of this club, and now you guys are going to let me play the reindeer games. So what
I
I
like how you
learned
approach that.
from
Yeah.
my parents, yeah, so what I learned
Yeah.
from my parents is that if you can't see that thing, you have to be that thing. And so that's why I birthed Lift After Breast Cancer, to really answer that question of what's next and helping women to put their life back together, but not back to what they were before. See, that's a misconception. People think that you bounce back. No, you don't. You're not the same person, nor should you be
Right.
after this type of an experience, any kind of traumatic experience or any kind of life-threatening experience. You should become a new person. So healing, recovery doesn't mean going backwards. It means healing forward.
Okay.
So we truly help people to re-identify what they want their life to look like. So first of all, we use a lift framework. So the
Mhm.
lift is live, right? So living and locate. So locate how you're living right now. So take an inventory of what's going on in your life right now. Is
Mhm.
it aligning with where you want to be? So that's taking us to the I, right?
Right.
The I. So that way, living that inspired life. So now it's identify. Are you a living that inspired life, or are there some changes that need to happen? So identify exactly where you want to be, where that inspired life, what that looks like for you. And we help people to truly flush that out. In the process of doing that, the F is free. So in the F, that's where we help women to free themselves from this false standard of beauty, from this false narratives, from the false expectations that's placed upon us and some that we place on ourselves.
The
So that
commercialized.
way now, yes. So
Yes.
now we can enact the T, transformation. So we can
Mhm.
start the transformation process and put, we call them almost like guardrails or rituals and routines in place to turn it into a habit and a lifestyle that
Mm.
you're now living inspired free and transformed. And so
Beautiful.
that's the birth of Lift.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to share with the audience that Dr. Michelle has a Saturday program that is in begins at noon Eastern Daylight Savings, Eastern Standard Time, and it's a great program. I've been inspired by it. So, Dr. Michelle, tell us a little bit about that, please.
Yes. So what Alicia is referring to, you all, and thank you so much. I really appreciate, first of all, you bringing that to the forefront, as well as attending. And so your presence has definitely made a difference. It is our Lyft community pre-launch experience that we have on Saturdays at noon Eastern time,
Mhm.
and it's virtual, so it's via Zoom. We have people from all over the world who have attended. And so what we're doing is we're launching, so this is the pre-launch, but we'll be launching a virtual community, a membership-based community. But what we're doing, our pre-launch is absolutely free. And what we do is each and every week, we're introducing, first of all, what is Lift After Breast Cancer? Who am I? And then I do a mini workshop, a training where we're helping women again to flush out what are some of the strengths that they have, what are some of the things that they need to work through, and how can we capitalize on some of those strengths? How can we create time, if you will, and allocate it to where we want it to go to. And our energy, it doesn't dissipate, it transfers. And sometimes what happens is when we feel this fatigue, we feel tired or burnout, it's because we're allocating our time and energy in places where it's not best served. So where can we best serve those things? We also talk about confidence. So making sure that we can tap into, because we don't lose our confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets hidden, but
Uh-huh.
it's still there. And so we do in some of our series is we talk about confidence and how we can bring that to the forefront, how we can again flush those things out that we know of ourselves and some things that have changed that we can now utilize as strengths and resilience and strategies rather than looking at it drawbacks and deficits. So those are things that we talk about as well as the fun side, the sisterhood. Have to have sisterhood with that. And it's for supporters and survivors. So not just survivors, but survivors and supporters. And supporters just means that you have not been diagnosed with breast cancer. So
I'm a
we have
supporter.
survivors that, I mean, supporters that are sometimes survivors of other things like a different type of cancer or a different type of ailment or just a survivor of life. Because can we agree that life be lifing sometimes?
Absolutely.
Life be lifing sometimes. And so when life lifes, being able to have a community to surround you, to help to uplift you, that's what we call it lift, right? To uplift you and to really empower you to become the woman that you were destined to be.
Mm.
So that's what we are doing with our Lyft community. We're doing our pre-launch now, and we'll continue with our Saturday sessions. And then, in order to, when we open up our virtual doors for our Lyft community, it will be a membership-based community, and it's going to be absolutely fabulous. We're building it out as we speak, and there'll be different rooms, starting out with the Lyft lobby where people will come in and get a chance to learn what's going on. They'll get access to replays. They'll get words of inspiration. So there'll be a lot of things they'll see at the face of the community, as well as exploring some of the other rooms that are designed, again, to help us to, I don't even want to say really recreate who we are, but just tap into who we were designed to be.
Yes. I want to give a testimonial, or yes-testimonial, as I've been taught to call it. The concept of the rooms are absolutely wonderful. So I'm excited to see when this the whole organization gets established. But in the meantime, this group, we all support one another, whether survivors or supporters. I'm a supporter, and I have family members that have survived, and just to be able to have a resource to say, if you are going through it or someone is going through it, we can welcome you into this community. I'm so excited about it. Um, Share about what's next for Lyft.
Yep, absolutely. And so before we take a full turn segment there, I do want to personally, because sometimes people are, I wasn't personally invited. So I want to give you a personal invitation
Mhm.
to join us for our Saturday session, learn more about what Lyft is, how we came to be, meet some of the other ladies, as well as learning about the virtual community. So we really go in depth with that. So I do want to invite you to do that. So I know that we'll have the links placed up here, but for some people who may be vision impaired, I want to be able to provide that to you. So if you go to my website, if you go to www.micheledclark.com, and that's MICHELEDCLARK.com/community. And the very first page, there's going to be a link that says, or a button that says learn more. Click on that, and that will give you the times and of I say the Zoom link so you can register, where you can register to be able to attend one of our sessions. And you can attend more than one. I welcome people to attend more than one. There's some who have attended every last one of them. And so being, I know, right? We have ours very own, ours truly, Alicia, who has attended each and every one of them. And so you can click to register for as many as you would like that you can attend and come on out and join us. So again, that's www.micheledclark.com/community to be able to join us. Now, going on to what's next for Lift After Breast Cancer. Right now, we are gearing up for our third annual brunch. So it is our Celebration, Elevation, Transformation brunch. This will be our third year in the making, and I'm super excited about it because each year we capitalize and build upon the last one. And so we do ours in March, right? So March 21st is the date in 2026. So we don't do ours in October. We do ours in March, and it actually is because of that snatch surgery that I had on March 23rd of 2023, where I was left devastated when they thought I had COVID and I had to leave the hospital. And so 1 year later, during that process, God had placed on my heart to take that date of devastation and transform it into celebration. So that's what we call our celebration, elevation, transformation brunch. And we did it 1 year exactly after that date. We did on March 23rd of 2024, 1 year later. And it was absolutely phenomenal for our first year out. And then our second year out, which was this year on March 22nd, because we keep it on that Saturday, we sold out. We absolutely sold out. And this year we had VIP and a general admission. So we had our VIP pink carpet photo shoot experience. And for those who came, they know exactly what that tone means. We're going to do that again for this upcoming year. It was such a hit. And so it's more than just a brunch, though.
Okay.
It's not just coming to eat. It's not just coming to eat and hear a speaker. It literally is immersing yourself in a community of survivors and supporters, a sisterhood, getting to know one another, and that's what we call it, like an experience, because you truly are going to have an experience where when you leave, you will leave feeling transformed. We've had women who left our brunch and said, I've been wanting to start a nonprofit for years. After I left your brunch, I started my nonprofit. Another young lady said, I hadn't gotten a mammogram for over 30 years. And after I left your brunch, I went and got my mammogram. So we had people on site, especially this year, because we had a panel and my daughter was on the panel. And I'm so happy and grateful that she did speak on the panel because I wanted to get a perspective of a youth who's had a parent with breast cancer. And so when she spoke, there was not a dry eye in the room, including me and my daughter, both of us. It was very touching, very emotional, and very raw and real and authentic. And that is why people feel that transformative experience when they come because of the realness, because of the subjects that we touch upon and the way that we incorporate not just our in-person audience, but also our virtual audience, because there are some people who, whether it be their ability physically or geographically or financially, they're not able to make it into the actual physical room. We do have hybrids. So people were able to tune in and watch from wherever they were at in the world from the comfort of their own home. And it wasn't just them being voyeurs. No, they actually also got a chance to participate. So they're just not watching us when we go to break to eat the wonderful food that we have. They're not just watching us eat or watching commercials. Now, we do show our digital ad book that we do because we want to make sure that those who purchased an ad are visible. So we play that at the beginning. We played at the beginning of the brunch. We played at the beginning of the actual eating brunch. And then we email that digital ad book out to all of the registrants. So that way they can interact more and have time to really look at all the people who placed the ad and who sponsored. But after we show that ad at the beginning of the intermission, we have a correspondent that interacts with the virtual audience, playing games and keeping them engaged. So they're not just, going on a break and off on their own. So it truly is an experience. And so invitation style, I invite you all to attend our third annual brunch. Again, it's going to be on Saturday, March 23rd, 2026. And for VIP, it starts at 10. They'll get advanced access to the venue, which of course means better parking, in addition to advance opportunity to the vendors, exceeding the pink carpet photo shoot experience, and we'll have a 10 minutes of empowerment from me with the VIPers. So, and of course, they'll get some additional swag. So, VIP, you definitely want to be there. And you can also sponsor a survivor to become so that they can attend at the VIP level. And general admission, listen, we're not leaving you out as well. You'll have a phenomenal experience. You'll still have great seating available. You'll get access to the vendors and all the programming that we have, and of course, the phenomenal food for everyone. And you will get swag too. So no matter where you find yourself, fitting in, get in where you fit in and join us. This is your personal invitation. So that way you can have the experience, that transformative experience that may be the one ingredient that you need in your life that can help you to transform to living inspired and free.
Well, I personally say I'm excited. I'm committing to this event in March 2026. So, whether I'm there from Rhode Island, where I live, or virtual, I will be there. You
Amen.
mentioned,
Well, I certainly hope you can make it into the room. I'm not going to take away from our virtual audience, but it's just something about that synergy of being in that room, you know?
yes, yes, absolutely. I agree with that. As far as being able to participate, yes. All right, so we've talked about the Saturday pre-launch event and the different rooms that you have and the event. Is there anything else that you have coming up that you want to share with us?
Absolutely, I do.
Mm,
So I want to share that we're doing the brunch. It serves two purposes.
okay.
So the first purpose, of course, is the brunch itself and the transformative experience that each and every person, and it's for men and women. So it's not just for women. Even though our company, Lift After Breast Cancer, we empower women, right? That is our ideal clientele is women. However, the brunch is for men and women. So that's the first purpose it serves. The second purpose is we're raising funds so that way we can roll out another transformative program that will help survivors to truly tap into who they are, what their next is, and how they can live inspired free and transform. And so, with that, it will include 7 weeks of coaching in a group coaching style. Then it'll also include two professional headshots and a 5-minute legacy video. So, this is our legacy package that we're rolling out. And when you come to the community sessions that we have on Saturdays, you will see my 5-minute legacy video. So each and every survivor will receive one of those videos. And as a part of the coaching, we will coach you on how to put together your narrative for your legacy video. We're not going to leave you to figure that out on your own, and we'll guide you through the process. And so I'm really excited about this program because we want to form a community. It's almost like a sub community through the trainings, through the coaching, and the camaraderie that will come from that. Because again, it will be closed. This is not something that will be broadcast. It is a closed group. So when the group starts, that is the cohort that will be going for that particular time. And it won't be, again, it won't be replayed anywhere. It won't be placed into our virtual community. So we will have some replays, but that will not be replayed in there. This is something that we want to make sure that each and every lady who attends can participate at their fullest and not have to worry about one, how they look, how they sound. No, we want them to focus introspectively and really be able to take in the materials that we're going to share with them to help them to elevate and truly that they are becoming, that see those as that they have as design. So yes, facilitate that process, but it is not cookie cutter. Every woman's inspired life will look different depending on who they are and how they want to live it. And it is up to us to help them, to empower them to transform into what they see as their ideal life, not as what Dr. Michele sees, right? So yes, I infuse my expertise, lived experience, and education. So yes, licensed mental health therapist for over 25 years, life coach, as well as other certifications. And I already talked about my credentialing, what I have. I infuse all of those things into this program to give each and every participant, each and every woman, that opportunity to live the life that they see for themselves. So if someone is saying, so you might say, well, okay, who is this appropriate for? If you're saying to yourself, I've recovered from whatever lifing is, right? For now, we're starting with breast cancer survivors, we're rolling it out to survivors first. But this program is meant to encompass all women who say, hey, I've experienced something in life. I survived.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
And now I know that I didn't survive just to go back to what was.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I am enjoying my life. Maybe I'm already at the pinnacle and I am doing what I love to do. That's fine too. But there's always a way to elevate. There's always a way to expand. There's always a way to make more of an impact, not just on ourselves, but then onto others. Because we go through these tests in order to have a testimony, and we go through these mess in order to have a message. So that way we can learn the lesson and reach back and help somebody else to become a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we help each and every woman to do, to find out what is your passion, your purpose, your promise, the promise that God made to you, for you to be able to live out. Why are you still on this earth? See, there's two important dates that we have. The first one is the day we were born, and the second one is when we find out why.
Yes.
So that dash, what is that dash? What are we doing in that dash between our sunrise and sunset? There's a purpose for each and every one of us. And so you may be going through something right now. Let me turn back to what happened with me. That 5-month delay, let me start back before then. Before that delay, I was running from my diagnosis, meaning that I didn't want to be known as that girl who had breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing a whole bunch of other stuff, busy being busy, right? Doing a lot of things as high performers as we do. We're solving problems, putting out fires, doing all those sorts of things. But sometimes we need to sit in the still of it and really have that introspection and that realignment after we've had some sort of life-altering experience, and really figure out, what is it? What is the lesson from this test? What is it that is for me to learn? Because it wasn't happenstance. It happened for a reason. And it may have been something that happened to someone else that we witnessed. It may not have been us per se.
Right.
And that may be caregivers, spouse, kids
Mm-hmm.
who have seen what has happened to someone else. And now they've experienced it. There is something that's called secondary post-traumatic stress disorder, right? It's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go too far off into it, but the bottom line is that when I was running,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't really tapping into the gravity of what I've been through. So in that 5-month period where I could not do anything else, one, I had COVID. Two, I couldn't get reconstructed. Three, I couldn't go back to work. Not because they said I couldn't, but because I chose not to. At the time, I was still licensed mental health therapist in a community mental health setting. And I didn't want to I wanted to give my clients the best of me, not the rest of me. So I felt that I needed to step back for a minute so that I can truly heal and put my life back together. I was distraught and all over the place, emotionally, mentally. And so when I was ready to rise from the ashes, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Isaiah 61:3, he will give unto them beauty from ashes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so rising from those ashes, what is it for me to do? How do I want to live? So I had to find myself. I was lost. And I actually created a blueprint. So, and actually, I can give you guys a gift now. If you guys wanted to be able to read that, it's a mini ebook. It's the blueprint that helped me, because it's not if, it's when. When lives, how do you get past this? How do you triumph? How do you rise? And so I created the self-rediscovery blueprint. If you'd like a copy of that, shoot me a text message. Text the number 586-685-7474. Again, that's 586-685-7474. And text the keyword blueprint, right? Text blueprint. And so when you text me that, then you will get a copy of it. As a matter of fact, how about we say blueprint and equity? Can we say that blueprint and equity?
Blueprint and equity.
Yeah. So that way we can, yes, pair this. So blueprint equity, text that word, and along with your name and your email address. So blueprint equity, your name, email address to 586-685-7474, and you, within 24 hours, you will get your free downloadable copy of my mini ebook. And so I want to take it back to who this is for. So when I was going through those things, lost, had to find myself, put that together, but then also birth lift after breast cancer. So that way we can truly help women to empower them to find their healing. So if you are saying to yourself, I'm looking for a sisterhood. If you're saying to yourself, I'm at the top of my game, but I feel like there's more. If you're saying to yourself, I don't want to go back to what was. I know there's more out of life than just where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
This is for you. Any
Absolutely.
one of those walks of life. And if you're the type of person that says, you know what? I'm doing swell. I just love being around women who want more out of life. Then this is for you too. Because it goes twofold. When you're feeling up, then guess what? The community needs you. When you're not feeling up and you're feeling down or lost, then guess what? You need the community.
Yeah.
So we have both of those on the continuum that visit and share with our community. And so we invite you to be able to do the same. So if any of those fit, then I invite you to participate with us, Lift After Breast Cancer, as well as we have a newsletter. So you may say to yourself, I want to stay in the know. We have a monthly newsletter. And all you have to do is go to my website, www.micheledclark.com, wait for the pop-up, put in your email, and then you're signed up. And you'll get that on a monthly basis directly into your inbox email. So that's what we have going on with Lift After Breast Cancer.
Marvelous.
We literally are excited about things to come.
Mhm.
I'll give you a hint on something else that's down the pipeline that nobody else is knowing about. So you guys are going to get to know about this first. So we will be implementing retreats. We
Mhm.
will be implementing retreats. So if you go to my website, we have it listed on there on some of the foreshadowing that we'll have with our retreats coming up in the near future. So be on the lookout for those. If you're interested, should be a space in there on the retreat section where you get to put in your email and send us a message so that way you'll know first about it. But if you get our newsletters, you'll be first to know as well. So yes, we'll have retreats coming down the pipeline where we'll have different destinations that we'll be going to in a close-knit community for us to truly do some deep digging and transformations for each and every woman who attends our retreat. So super excited about those things coming down the
Oh, this
pipeline.
is so wonderful. As a testimonial, I need to share that as the Saturday meetings that Dr. Michele has, recently I had a mammogram scheduled and I had high anxiety about it. And the group was so welcoming to let me share and supportive. So the day came, it was a Tuesday, and Dr. Michele, was there for me. She just texted me, and it was great to be able to speak with her because, as we women know, that machine is not friendly.
No.
It's not friendly, and so as a testament, I go once every other year. But because of Lift After Breast Cancer and the community, I think that I might just change that and be participatory in going annually. So I just want to say thank you for having this group and thank you for all your support. The mammogram came back normal, nothing was, found. So thank you, God, for that. But just to help me with the anxiety was so great. So thank you so much.
Amen. You're so, so welcome. And I just want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to I just call it doing God's work, So I appreciate you allowing me to be obedient to his will and being able to be there in your life during your time of need. So I thank you for that because you could have chosen anyone or you didn't have to say anything at all. So the fact that you felt, vulnerable and open enough to be able to share with the community and share with me, then I appreciate you so much for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Amen.
So, continuing on to talk about Lift After Breast Cancer, um, I know that you have the group on Saturdays, but and you also, I want to also share about the legacy video, specifically yours. In the group, Dr. Michele shares her legacy video, and it is very, wow, emotional at times for me. I'm not sure how the other women experience it, but for me, it's emotional. Um, and whereas my business, Make a Difference Consultant, talks about organizational excellence, I have a challenge with how they told you you have this cancer. I really do, because the way, as you explain it was very curt,
Mm.
very insensitive, if you will. And so it troubles me, but to hear how you've come through successfully and how you're supporting people who have the challenge of having breast cancer and survivors of breast cancer, it's nothing short of miraculous.
Mm.
And I thank God for you. I thank God that you are thriving in your life, from my perspective. Um, but it's just a beautiful thing. And I just want to give you kudos and applaud you.
Thank you so much for that. It was even every time I watch it, I still feel something as well when I watch the legacy video because I know in the moments what I was experiencing
Mhm.
as I'm looking at it. And then at the end, I feel the hopefulness of it,
Mhm.
the transformation of it,
Yeah.
and knowing where I was and so where I was and where I was and where I am, right? Because I'm not the same person I was even after making that video.
Yeah.
I still continue to evolve, which we should.
Right.
Those experiences should not be the end of our transformation,
Right.
just the beginning, such as when a butterfly is a caterpillar and it goes into a cocoon. And when it then comes out and turns into a butterfly, it doesn't just sit on the cocoon as a butterfly. It flies off and does things, right? And
Yeah.
has experiences from a different perspective. Caterpillars don't fly. So they only have a perspective of where they can crawl and see. Whereas a butterfly takes flight and now really has a aerial perspective of where they've come from. And now they have a trajectory of where they can head to. So I offer that in our programming. And yes, we do one-on-one because some women say, I don't really want to be in a group. Not because I don't like groups, but I know that the healing that I need to have, that I need to be empowered to transform, I need that on a one-on-one basis. We
Mhm.
do one-on-one coaching as well. And
Mhm.
so let's go to my website. Go to my website and on the page there, you'll see up on the right-hand side where you can book a discovery call where we can truly talk about what you need,
Mhm.
what you want, how you see yourself, and then put in specific, very, very specific strategies, lifestyle. I don't really want to call them strategies because literally it is changing habits to change your lifestyle through changing change your identity, identifying your identity,
Yeah.
amplifying your self-identity, really coming into who you are. Because unfortunately, even if someone were to put together the most magnificent plan ever, the most magnificent map that's going to get you to where you want to go, if deep down you don't believe that either you're worthy of it, or you don't believe that you can do it, or you can be that person, or can whatever, 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 it all starts with the belief. If you don't believe, that makes it more challenging
Mhm.
for you to become.
Mm.
And so that's what's so important about having a community and so important about having the one-on-one coaching, because then you have the coach, myself,
Mhm.
imparting my belief onto you until you can gain your own, giving you the steps to take until it's almost like, I don't want to say that anybody is a child, I'm not saying that, but if we look at a child when they learn how to walk, they have the parent or the caregiver, whomever, helping them along the way, coaching them on,
Yeah.
grabbing them by the hand sometimes and walking them, and then letting them go and let them walk on their own, showing them how to walk. The first, before the child even takes their first step, they're watching.
Hmm.
They're watching. And we
Hmm.
do have a tell, show, try, do type model where we help you. We lay it all out for you based on what you say you want.
Yeah.
And then we can tweak those things because what was when you first started, it may shift during the midsection. So it's not like you're stuck with that. It truly is a fluid, transformative process that we help our women through. So
Yeah.
if you do want one-on-one again, we do have that available as well to help you, to
Please
empower
give
you
them
to
the
live inspired, free, and
please
transformed.
please share the number and the website again, please.
Yep. So the website is www.micheledclark.com. And that's MICHELEDCLARK.com. So Michelle with one L, you don't need two,
And
and one
she
does the
sings
same.
too.
So,
Wow.
yep,
But
yep,
as you were speaking, I have a very strong faith, and two things that came to me is one, what my grandma used to say to me. My grandma passed away of uterus cancer in July 4th of 1990. So for me, that July 4th used to be a very difficult holiday to celebrate because I
I'm
loved my
sure.
grandma so much. But she's been promoted to heaven. And she used to say, you have to creep before you crawl. You have to crawl before you walk. You have to walk before you run.
That's
And
right.
that's always stayed with me. So that's what you were talking about. But also, my grandfather, who just recently passed away, both of these are my maternal parents, my grandparents on my mother's side. And so he passed away last year, reaching 100.
Wow.
And wow, when I asked him about being a leader and um, conducting business, because he was an entrepreneur on the island of Trinidad and Tobago where I was born, and he always said, you have to trust God. And so what you were saying about believing, that resonates with me deeply. Second Chronicles 2020. I have two children, and the Second Chronicles 2020 attributes to my son, who's the firstborn. Um, it talks about how just Jehoshaphat had a battle to fight, and they were nervous about the battle, but they said the battle is the Lord's. And verse 2020 talks about how he came out the morning and said to the children of Israel, believe your God, so shall you be established. Believe his prophets, so shall you prosper. And so believing is key to a lot of things. Even John 3:16, when you believe, you don't perish. You live. You have that abundant, eternal, everlasting life. And so I encourage supporters, I encourage survivors to believe that you can transform, that you can live inspired, you can be free and to be who you are meant to be. Don't hold back. Just keep on believing, you know?
Amen. And I was thinking about Mark 9:23. That's one of my favorites. If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm really enjoying our talk today, Dr. Michelle. Um, wow. So it's I have to say that whenever I speak with Dr. Michelle, I get emotional because I know your story and I'm seeing this wonderful woman that, you know, it's a mad what she's been through. You don't look anything like that world of cancer. But to say that you're thriving, you're vivacious, it's just a beautiful miracle.
It is. And I'm so happy and grateful for it, you know.
Yeah,
Um, all I can say is but God. But God, you know. So people when they see me and they say that, I say because what you're seeing is the covering. You're
yeah,
seeing the covering.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
so happy and grateful that God, again, at the beginning, when I tell people that He saved me from some life-threatening things, I truly mean it. there's more complex traumas that I've experienced, but each and every one of them is what helped to build me to who I am today and give me the testimony to be able to share with others and to be able to give the voice to the voiceless and to help to those who want to speak and use their voice, how they can use that instrument for change.
Yeah.
Change first inside and then change outwardly to be able to help others. Because again, what we go through, our testimonies, our tests that turn to testimonies, when we share that, that could be someone's lifeline. That could be someone's, survival guide
Yeah.
because of what we were able to share. If I never shared what happened and I walked through this world, yes, I could be happy and grateful for myself. But then what about those who need that beacon of light to
Mm-hmm.
get them through that dark tunnel, who
Mm-hmm.
just need one person to say, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did it, you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to, in some shape, form, or fashion, we have to share what has happened to us. And within our coaching program, we teach people how to share without exposing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people share in a way that when they're done sharing, they feel, I hate to say it, they almost feel violated because they
Mm-hmm.
shared more than in a way that didn't really honor their journey. We call that verbal vomit, right? Where sometimes we may share too much and then we have that remorse, like, oh, I wish I hadn't said that. So we teach people how to share their story in
Mm-hmm.
a succinct way that is authentic and also values, I won't say want to say their privacy, but their own walk, their own journey again.
It sounds
So
like
that helps them to put it in a way
mm-hmm.
that values them as a person without oversharing.
Wow, beautiful. It sounds like this counseling or this therapy helps you to protect your personhood while transforming to overcome the challenge that you have, whether it be cancer or a personal hurt, abuse, if you will. You know, you still get to protect yourself, but you get to share, and that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And it is coaching, so it's not therapy. It feels therapeutic at times, but it is coaching.
Coaching, yes. Yeah, that's a good word. I love coaching. Yeah. You know, one thing in my personal business, God has revealed to me that I used to always say I'm a chief consultant. God said, no,
What?
you're actually the business is actually an organizational development company, but focusing on organizational excellence, and I'm an executive business coach.
Yes. Yes,
So
yes, yes.
I like that word.
Me too. And I misheard you. At first I thought you said that someone said that you were a cheap consultant. I'm like, what? But you said
The
chief,
chief.
like
Yeah,
chief. Okay, because I was like,
chief.
what? Why would they say that? You're amazing. You're brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you.
Inside and out.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Well, what do you anticipate besides the different events that you shared for Lyft?
So what I would just like to, I guess, leave with the audience
Mm-hmm.
and what we see for Lift After Breast Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to our vision statement,
Okay.
and that is changing the standard of beauty.
Mm.
That we're not just beautiful in October when everybody's talking about breast cancer awareness and you're beautiful, you're strong, you're resilient. You see all the images flooded on the TV and your phone and radio and all of that. And then in November, what happens?
Yeah.
You can hear a pin drop when it talks
Yeah.
about breast cancer survivors and survivorship and even awareness and anything that's related to breast cancer.
Mm.
With Lift After Breast Cancer, we truly are empowering women to live inspired, free, and transformed, not just in October.
Mm.
For our vision statement, changing the standard of beauty, not conforming to those cookie cutter beauty standards that we see in front of us. Each and every one of us are beautiful because of who we are. Each and every one of us holds value because of who and whose we are.
Mm.
Normally, this is the part where I may use an example, and I don't know if I have a dollar bill on me right now. Let's see. Do we? Oh, yep, we do have. So I have a $10 bill.
I love this scenery.
Oh,
Go right
yes,
ahead.
I just show people, listen, when you see this $10 bill, how much is this worth? It's worth $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I fold it up, how much is it worth?
$10.
If I ball it up, how much is it worth?
$10.
If I throw it on the ground and step on it, how much is it worth?
$10.
If I put dirt on it and then uncover it and pull it back out, how much is it worth?
$10.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Still holds its value. So
Yeah.
no matter what we go through, we hold our value. And we do, actually, I'll do you one better than that. We do more than hold our value. We appreciate because of what we've gone through, not despite what we've gone through, because of what we've gone through, because now we have a new set of lens, a new set of skill sets, a new resilience factor that we've tapped into, that now we can pull that forward and amplify who we are, come to being who we are, who we're becoming, and help others to do the same. So I leave with you that you hold your value, you appreciate in value, you are worthy of being loved because you are love, you are light. What you have, no one else has. It was given just to you. Find out what that purpose and promise is so that way you can work and live in your passion so that you can help us to change that standard of beauty, to not be this superficial, shallow outward exterior, but truly acknowledging the people who we are and who we're becoming in the process.
Absolutely. If I may share the scripture as we get ready to sign off, Hebrews 12, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, people who have gone through different testimony challenges, survivors, supporters. Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which easily ensnares us, and let us run with the endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, how we're choosing to believe, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. Even Jesus had something to survive, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. He got his ultimate reward. So we even though we're going through challenges, be it survivors, be it supporters, there's an ultimate reward. So don't give up. Just keep believing and know that there's joy ahead. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, you're welcome. Dr. Michele, thank you for being here today, December 18th, Thursday. It's such a reward. I consider it a reward to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And it is definitely a gift and a reward to be on the show with you. So I thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this experience.
You're welcome.